Protesting the U.S. response and warning it reserves the right to take action.
The response coming hours after a U.S. fighter jet shot one missile into the balloon, immediately sending it plunging to the sea off the South Carolina coast.
And the race is now on in the search for debris fallen that has been scattered in the ocean. The U.S. in hopes of gathering any possible intelligence about the Chinese device. So let's begin our coverage with ABC's Ellen Lopez there in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Ellen, good morning.
Yeah, Janae, good morning. All eyes were on the skies. People across the country from Montana to right here in Myrtle Beach catching a glimpse of that massive Chinese balloon before it was shot down. Now China says it has a right to respond. This morning, the race is on to collect the fallen debris of the Chinese spy balloon after it was shot down by a U.S. fighter jet off the coast of South Carolina.
Holy We have eyes on the balloon falling.
A senior U.S. official saying the balloon was hit by a single F-22 firing an air-to-air missile roughly 6 nautical miles off the South Carolina coast. The military operation ending a 3-day spectacle as Pentagon officials tracked the balloon's every movement since being spotted over Montana, flying at an altitude of at least 60,000 feet. The massive balloon making its way across several sensitive military installations as it flew over the continental U.S., seen in Wyoming, Kansas, and Missouri, before getting to the Carolinas where it was shot down off Myrtle Beach. President Biden saying he initially wanted to take down the balloon as soon as possible, but the Pentagon advised otherwise and the calculation was made to wait.
Without doing damage to anyone on the ground. They decided that the best time to do that was as it got over water outside within 12-mile limit. They successfully took it down.
China blasting the decision, calling it an excessive reaction, adding that it retains the right to respond further.
The U.S. airspace was violated by this Chinese spy balloon. If the U.S. is able to recover some of these sensors and determine that the Chinese were in fact spying on sensitive areas within the U.S., it will put a chill on an already chilly relationship between the two countries.
The Pentagon saying the debris field now extends for 7 full miles of shallow water. That's about 47 feet deep. Multiple U.S. Navy and Coast Guard ships securing a perimeter and beginning a search mission.
What the U.S. Navy is looking for, what the Coast Guard is looking for, is where is that payload? Where is the metal part of the balloon that was underneath that balloon that holds the sensors?
That metal part, a large array of technology running the size of 3 bus lengths. And not the first Chinese balloon of its kind. This video from Colombia possibly capturing a second suspected balloon recently spotted over South America. And what Pentagon officials say, because the water where the balloon crashed down is fairly shallow, they expect recovery operations to be short.
Ellen Lopez for us, thank you. Let's bring in ABC's Britt Clennett in Hong Kong and Mary Alice Parks at the White House for more on this. Britt, let's go ahead and start with you. China calling this a serious violation of international practice. So what are you learning about what a Chinese response could look like?
Well, China likes to talk about reciprocal action. So the question is really what they believe is reciprocal. You know, if they get their hands on a U.S. surveillance system in the future, maybe they will make a big deal about intercepting it, but if China were to respond kind of militarily, that might be actually admitting that this balloon wasn't civilian. So there's a fine line that it needs to walk here. It is important to note that despite the strongly worded response, which could also be geared at its domestic audience as well, all recent signs indicate that China wants to stabilize ties because it needs to focus on its battered economy. So in terms of retaliation, there might not be the appetite for a kind of statement response.
And Mary Alice, let's bring you in on this because the Biden administration has received a ton of criticism, especially from Republicans. What calculations went into Biden's decision on how to handle this?
Yeah, with the administration facing a lot of questions about why they didn't move to shoot this down over a week ago when they first spotted it over the Pacific and then over Alaska. But it doesn't seem like the president was really engaged with the military over options until it re-entered U.S. airspace over Idaho and Montana days later. The White House was really leaning into this idea that he was listening to his military advisors, that he said shoot it down back on Wednesday, but that they advised to wait until there wasn't a danger to people or anyone on the ground. They're also saying that they were able to learn a lot about the balloon by tracking it for all of these days, that collection was valuable. And they're saying, look, at least we did something, that this has happened before. It's happening all over the world. It happened over the last administration, but we handled it. We shot it down. We did something. Of course, they admit that this time was really different.
And it's not just happening here in the U.S. Britt, let's go back to you. What do we know about other balloons like this one that China is using around the world?
Well, according to US officials, these kinds of balloons have been tracked passing over the US in recent years on multiple occasions, but it's not clear how frequently or what their purpose was. There have been spotted all over other countries too that China has a strategic interest in, including the Philippines and reportedly India too. Now, they could be used for surveillance, intelligence, surveying missions. We don't really know, but China is sticking to its story that this is a civil balloon, but we have very little information on this. If this is the case, what company is involved? You know, why would it need to fly a gigantic balloon over other sovereign countries?
And finally, Mary Alice, what are U.S. officials saying about where this leaves U.S. relations with China now?
Yeah, it's remarkable to think that this was likely the first U.S. physical, kinetic military action against China since the Korean War. And it comes just as Secretary of State Blinken was supposed to be headed towards China. And that trip, we know, was going to be a big deal. It was going to be the first Biden cabinet secretary to go to Beijing. You know, I talked to a senior administration official overnight who told me that the approach to China will continue to be one of calm, being resolute and practical to manage the competition between the two countries so it doesn't veer into conflict. That's a lot of diplomatic speak when we know that this was a major diplomatic mess. I mean, the reality is that the U.S. was on the phone and meeting with China officials nonstop over the last few days, trying to tell them that this was unacceptable. And it's really hard to see now how these...
Yeah, you see it. Hey, they ain't got no respect for the whore no more. All right? These people are out of the mind, man, to think that that this place is gonna be continue on, man. All right, because it's gonna be the other nations, they don't got no love for this place. All right, this is the great Satan, you know. This is the wicked place, although they're all wicked, you know. But you know, that's what it's gonna be, you know, for the other nations. The other nations gonna deal with this place. Most High gonna send them all upon this place, man. You see, there's no. Matter of fact, I go here since I'm here already. Let me see. Yeah. No, I just go to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14. I go Isaiah 14 to 10. All right, so it's Isaiah chapter 14, verse 10. It says, hell, no, 14, and yeah, 9, let's go there. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It shall rise up. It has raised up from the thrones and all the kings of the nations, all right? And all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, so there's a surveillance drone going over the place of this Babylon the Great. All right, and it's obvious. You know, you hear the threats of the Chinese government and everything, man. This thing is about to go up into a big melee, man. All right, so whatever happens with that balloon is gonna kick off something. He said that pomp is also brought down to the grave, and the noise of the vials and the worm is spread under thee, and the worm covers thee. Right, so this place is about to get hit, man. All right, that arrogancy. All right, you brought down. Right, no no real you don't really have nobody that fears you, too much anymore. Okay. And let's talk about Babylon the Great, Esau Eve, okay? It's how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, and how art thou cut down to the ground, which still weakest the nations, all right? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, and I will sit also among the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, and I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, right? So that shit is brought down. There's no more. Your pump is going down, all right? And it says Babylon is going to be utterly destroyed. But who's going to be destroyed by? The nations, man. All right? The nations. All right? It's going to be sitting down and eat the horse flesh, man. Okay? Let me see. Go back to Ezekiel real quick, the 38th chapter. Go back there. All right. This is the Heavenly Father talking to, this is speaking. It says in verse 2, this is a son of man, set thy face against Gog and land of Magog. And the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal prophesied against him. All right, and say, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. It says, I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring forth all thine armies, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company of buckler and shield, all of them with a sword. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, and all of them with shields and helmet. Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togarmah in the north quarter, and all the bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, okay? Be prepared. We said, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company. Thou art assembled unto thee and be a guard unto thee. So, hey, they got China, and it's being, it's getting edgy with the ones on the sides of the North, America, man. Okay. Well, so there's gonna be a lot of confusion, right? They consider that. I mean, when you got somebody that used to be fearing you, they don't fear you no more, all right? And they're going to bring you low for the pride of their heart has deceived thee, doubtless dwellers in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, all right? Shit. The mother nations going to come against you, man, all right? It says, so he said, be a guard unto them. What's going to be? Russia going to be a guard unto a lot of these nations. It says, and after many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years, thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and it is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always wasted. But it is brought forth out of the nation that they should dwell safely, all of them. And that thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, and thou shalt all be thy bands and many people with them. So it's going to be a big old destruction and a melee on this place, man, when the Lord had those other nations rise up. Amos, was it 5 and 9 or 15? Okay. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Okay. To what end is it for you? To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear and met him, and went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even the very dark and no brightness in it? I despise your feast days. I would not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I would not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. So they say that these people ain't gonna want nothing. They sending drones and stuff over your country. Right? That's a indication that they're not about to be fond of you, man. Okay, I have Americans don't seem to understand that America's about to be obliterated. And these people are about to tear this place apart. All right, this is Obadiah, the vision of Obadiah, said the Lord. About Shemel Shah concerning Edom, concerning Edom, right? Esau, right? Because it's the main hub of Esau's power. Okay, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathens. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee. He said the pride of thy heart has deceived thee, man. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. All right, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay, so the pride of this place has deceived him. All right, he ain't looking for what's to come. He think he's going to stay on top. All right, his habitation is high in his heart. Who shall bring me down to the ground? Hey, the Most High is about to bring muster of the host of the battle, man. About to be an execution of this place, a termination. Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, thou hast set thy nest among the stars. This will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. If thieves came to thee as robbers by night, it says, would they not have stolen till they had enough? If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? See, Esau, he go in everything. All right, take your all, your resources, everything, your children, your family. All right, how are things of Esau searched out? How is he hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. All right, and there is none understanding in him. So they got it right now. Hey, everybody that's cool with you, at least cool enough to stay not in the war, not to get in the war with you, or not talk about wars, is on your side, man. He's talking about his brothers and Esau, these powers that Esau dealing with. All right, but hey, shit, he ain't got nothing to understand it, man. Right? They gonna prevail against you. What the scripture tell they gonna fire on a whore. All right, so hey, whatever that balloon was collecting, it was collecting a lot of data. All right, and they telling you they gonna retaliate because they probably have something of yours, right? Or make the stock prices go up, or to make the inflation rise. Okay. Well, and it says, and the mighty man old Teman, which I believe that those Temanites are those Germans, Edomites, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. So, for that violence against our brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So we know, okay? All these things, man, the things you did to Jake. All right? So I'm going to just jump over here in Revelations 17. 17 and 16. Let me see, is that him? Yeah, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So, hey, that's gonna be those nuclear destructions gonna destroy it, because the other thing went over military bases, sensitive military bases. All they did probably record it, for their guidance system. All right, they can get at the guide, they can guide it all that, all the way to where they need it to be. So that could be just a pinpointer, They just pointed on something. It says, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill His will. So the Most High put that balloon up there. They get that intelligence going on, all right, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, because the word to the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So the time is being fulfilled real close, man. All right, they say they're gonna retaliate somehow, some way. Saying the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reign over the kings of the earth. So we know for a fact ain't no other nation giving a damn about this place, right? Big old melee about to happen. All right, shot down there, but whether their balloon, they say they're gonna come back, and it's gonna be something major. All right, all these distractions too. All right, so with that, we go. Praise be saved. Chasing brothers and shalom.